edition of Triad today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. We'll see what kind of controversies they get into. But between now and then, some great guests, important information coming your way. We'll tell you about some special scholarships for great kids. We'll talk about a big event coming up at Old Salem, and we'll talk about the agribusiness technology, some programs and courses offered by one of our fine community colleges, all that and much more. But let's start out talking about something that's sort of seasonal right now, swimming. Everybody seems to be doing it, especially kids jumping into oceans and ponds and pools. But what's really important is swim safety. And we have three gentlemen with us right now that are going to help us through that topic. On my immediate right, our good friend, David Daggett, attorney with Daggett, Shuler. David and his partner, Griff, have brought along a special guest. Nathan Durrell is Executive Director of Aquatics for the YMCA of Northwest North Carolina. And as I said, Griff Shuler here along with the guys from Daggett Shuler. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Lori Bates, our director. I'm just going to give a production note. I'm going to skip over David and Griff for just a second and go right to Nathan. I have a couple questions, and they're serious questions, not to be a downer, but
Nathan's the expert.
I know, Nathan knows this. But as much fun as we have in the pool and everything with our kids, I'm concerned, and David sent me an email about this. What should parents know about the dangers of drowning? And if you're a parent and you are sort of watching your kid, what do you look for? What's going on when something like this happens?
Right. Well, one of the scariest things about drowning in general is that it's both silent and it can happen very quickly. So anytime you're with kids, whether it's in a body of water as small as a tub or anything larger, a pool or even a lake or ocean where you're talking about dark water, the key is to keep an eye on them, make sure you know what they're doing, where they are, what they're involved in, because the trouble, the scary stuff can happen within just a matter of a few seconds. And if you're in water that you can't see through, it can be even quicker than that, and you can't even locate them.
One of the fallacies out there is drowning looks like somebody wailing and yelling and screaming. Drowning is very, very silent and happens very quickly.
That's right.
So you turn your back with a young one and bang.
And you said, because I know that you were complimenting Nathan a minute ago about him being the expert, and he is. But you sort of did, you should know, people, I want to brag on you for a second because you've written an ebook, I think, on swim safety.
Yes, it's a very short ebook. It's free download on Amazon. We'll put a link up on our website so people can get to it.
What kind of stuff's in it?
Well, it's some short, very specific tips for parents. First of all, the statistics are astounding. For 4 years old and younger, drowning is the second leading cause of death behind birth injuries and defects.
I didn't know that.
For children 5 to 15, it's the number 2 cause of death behind automobile accidents.
Good grief.
So it's ahead of everything else. It's a much more serious problem than most people realize. And then to sum up what's in the book, it's prevention and pay attention. Those two things, prevention and pay attention.
And we're going to put up a website in just a little bit so that people can go through your website to get over to Amazon to get that. I just think it's great what you did with that. Nathan, I know I'm going to ask you in a second about some classes and things that you're doing, but I want to go over to Griff because as I get ready to talk to Nathan about swim safety classes or swim instruction, Griff, you and I kid a lot. You're a pretty good athlete and you're a parent. So what do you say to parents that say, well, I'm going to send Susie on to take some swim instruction. I'm going to send Johnny on to do swim safety. The parents should really do some things too, right?
Sure, absolutely. It's interesting, 71% of our world is water. So, water is all around us, and it's incumbent upon us as parents to try to get lessons for our kids. And a lot of parents are embarrassed because maybe they got through their childhood without getting lessons.
Without it, yeah.
And they don't swim themselves. So maybe you think you're doing the right thing, which you are, by sending them for swim lessons at the Y or things like that. But many parents don't realize, many adults don't want to admit that they don't know how to swim, and they need to do that as well.
All right, very quickly, we're running out of time. Nathan, how often do you offer swim instruction, swim safety things at the Y?
Yeah, almost every YMCA in this area offers some kind of swim lessons. We have outreach lessons that are available to anyone in the community free of charge. We have group lessons that you can pay for, and again, there is scholarshiping available because it's very important to us that anybody has access to come in and get those
I just
skills.
think that's great.
They do a terrific job. I think the YMCA is the largest network of swim instruction there is on Earth.
That's right.
Giving the kids the opportunity to be around the water and not be fearful of the water at an early age is vital.
Absolutely. We're running a little long on this, but I want to put up on screen YMCANWNC.org and also the Daggett Shuler website we told you about, DaggettShulerLaw.com. You can call 724-1234 if you need some help from these guys as well, but also you can go through that website to get the ebook. I just appreciate what all three of you are doing to promote this through the ebook, through instruction, through being an advocate and a parent and somebody to prevent injuries, Griff. I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thanks, Jim.
And I learned to swim at the Y too 100 years ago before any of these guys were born. We'll be right back after this.